bumblebee, pollinating all the flowers. Pretty, happy, fragrant summer flowers.
Hi, kids! In this lesson, you will learn fun facts about honey and bumblebees, including how they produce honey. Are you ready? Here we go! First, let's review some keywords that you'll need to know later. The first word is honey, next, sultry, then pollination, synchronicity, nectar, honey bumblebee, breezy, and foraging. Here are some sentences using our new key words. First word, honey. Would you like some honey in your tea? The next word is sultry. The girls enjoyed the hot and humid, sultry weather. Pollination. Bees help in the pollination of plants and flowers. Synchronicity. There was perfect synchronicity of the two events. Nectar. Bees do a little dance to inform each other about nectar sources. Honey bumblebees. The honey bumblebees are flying in the garden. Breezy. The high winds made for a breezy day. Foraging. The bees are foraging for nectar. And now it's time for some fun facts. The first thing you should know is that honeybees and bumblebees are different. This is a honeybee, and this is a bumblebee. But what exactly are bumblebees? Well, bumblebees are insects with a round body that is covered in hairs. Bumblebees harvest nectar and pollen from flowering plants. Male bumblebees cannot sting because they do not have a stinger. Female bumblebees can sting, but bumblebees will not die if they use their sting, although honeybees will. Bumblebees hibernate underground. And a bumblebee's scent marks flowers that they have visited. Bumblebees sound great, but what are honeybees? Well, honeybees are like bumblebees, but they have a more slender body with fewer hairs. Honeybees are the kind of bee that make the sweet, golden, sticky honey we like to eat. Honey is a thick, sugary liquid made by honeybees. But did you know that it takes great effort from honeybees to make the honey that we enjoy? Let's learn how honeybees produce honey. Honeybees live in a large group called a colony, which has 3 kinds of honeybees, each with a different job. The colony lives in a hive and has thousands of female worker bees who make the honey and maintain the hive. There are also a few hundred drones, which are male bees that can't sting. Their job is to help a queen bee's eggs develop.
Way to go, drones!
Each colony has a queen bee. She lays eggs which grow into new baby bees. So, How do honeybees make honey? First, female worker bees gather pollen and nectar from flowers. Nectar is the liquid that will be turned into honey back at the hive. The female worker bees use their long tongues like drinking straws to suck up flower nectar. Honeybees also have 2 stomachs. They store nectar in one stomach called the honey stomach, which acts like a grocery bag. It can take more than 1,000 flowers to fill the honey stomach. But when the honey stomach is full, the field bees return to the hive. Each day, these bees might fly several miles from the hive just to get nectar. Once they arrive back at the hive, they spit up the nectar into the mouths of younger female house bees. The house bees munch on the nectar for about half an hour, chewing it like gum. They break the nectar down with special chemicals, making it easier for the bees to eat. Then, the house bees deposit the chewed nectar into hexagon-shaped wax tubes called cells. These cells form the inside of the hive like a food pantry. When the pantry is full, the honey can then be extracted from the honeycomb. The high concentration of sugar in honey forces the water out of any yeast or bacteria cells that could otherwise contaminate the food. This process, known as osmosis, means that honey remains edible for thousands of years. And now, let's sing the Honey Bumblebee song. Are you ready? Here we go!
Honey bumblebee pollinating all the flowers, pretty happy fragrant summer flowers, all in synchronicity with love and harmony. Busy bumblebees and happy flowers, tweet tweet little birdies, buzz buzz bumblebees, soft romantic breeze and morning flowers. Honeybees foraging and buzzing away, taking back the pollen on a sultry summer day. Honey bumblebee, make some honey for me, add some love and nectar from the flowers. Buzzing away on a breezy summer day, the honeybees are dancing in the flowers. In the nest, all the baby bees are waiting for mom. All the little baby bumblebees are calling. Hey, the little mommy honey bumblebee, all of us are hungry for some pollen. Sucking out the nectar and then storing it in sacks. She flies it home and feeds it to the others. The nectar then evaporates inside the honeycomb, and pretty soon it's honey in your cupboard. Hey, baby bee, come on out of your nest. It's time for you to have your world discovered. And like the honeybees, you'll be pollinating flowers and making honey for your mama's cupboard. Yeah, pretty soon it's honey in the cupboard.
What did you learn about honey and bumblebees? Can you name 3 things that you learned about honey and bumblebees? I learned that honeybees and bumblebees are different. Male bumblebees do not have stingers, and that honeybees have 2 stomachs. Now, let's match the correct word to each picture. First, find the honeybee. Which picture shows a honeybee? There it is. Now, find the bumblebee. Great job! Finally, find honey. Wonderful! Now, let's match the correct words to these pictures. The first word is hive. Can you find the hive? Now, nectar. Which picture shows nectar? Next, queen bee. There she is. Finally, find the honey cell. Great work! Now answer this question. What do bumblebees harvest from flowering plants? Nectar and pollen! Now, how about this one? Male bumblebees cannot sting because they do not have a stinger. Is this true or false? It's true. Male bumblebees can't sting because they don't have a stinger. Now, where do bumblebees hibernate? Is it A, underground, B, in trees, C, in caves, or D, in nests? A! Bumblebees hibernate underground. Bumblebees' scent mark flowers that they have visited. Is this true or false? It's true. Bumblebees mark the flowers they have visited with their scent. Bumblebees will not die if they use their sting, whereas honeybees will. Is this true or false? It's true. Only bumblebees will die if they use their stinger. Now, which of the honeybees in a colony makes honey? The female worker bees make honey. But where do honeybees store nectar while they carry it back to their hive? In their honey stomach, of course. What happens to nectar once the bees return it to the hive? Well, first, the female house bees chew it for about 30 minutes before putting it into the honeycomb. The sole purpose of drones is to help the queen bee develop eggs. Is this true or false? It's true. Male drones really only help the queen with her eggs. Let's review the honey-making process one more time. First, the honeybees collect nectar and pollen. They store it in their honey stomach while they fly back to the hive. When they arrive, they spit it into other bees' mouths, who then chew it for 30 minutes and finally deposit the honey in the cell. Now, let's build our own honeybee colony. First, choose a tree to host your honey hive. I'll choose this sparkly tree. Now, select a beehive for your bees to live in. Now, we'll plant the tree and then build our hive. Now, choose some flowers for the bees to harvest pollen and nectar from. I'll select these 2 blooming red tulips. Here we go, planting them in the ground. Now, pick some bees to live in your new colony. I'll choose this dancing bee and the bouncing bee. Here they go!
Honey bumblebee pollinating all the flowers.
Thanks for learning about bees with me. I'll see you next time.
With love and harmony, busy bumblebees and happy flowers. Tweet, tweet, little birdies, buzz, buzz, bumblebees. Soft, romantic breeze and morning flowers. Honeybees foraging and buzzing away, taking back the pollen on a summer day.